Okay. So today we're going to talk about strategic planning. And if you remember from the syllabus, you will have this due when year 14's decision is due. You will have a 3-year strategic plan due on BSG. So whatever we are covering today is something you're going to put in for the 3-year strategic plan. Okay, so this one is important. So strategic plan is, first we have to have a strategic plan, and strategic plan have the vision and mission, and then the core values, and mostly the company's culture, stuff like that. And after we set the strategic plan, we are going to set our objectives. Okay, and we talk about there are two main type of objectives. One is strategic objective, one is financial. So financial, of course, you can see easily it's about the numbers. Okay, but the strategic objective is also about numbers, but it's more with the position among the market. Okay, we will also talk about it. And then we're going to craft the strategy that we kind of talked about last time. There are 2 fundamental strategies, and you guys are going to focus on what exactly you want to do. Okay, and then executing the strategy. Based on your strategy, your decisions, you already see the result of the decisions. And I don't know how many of you watch the videos. Okay, so the thing is that I'm going to post the videos after the result is posted every week. So I'm going to post online, and then you guys, I hope you guys will watch it. And then from there, you will kind of know what you need to do or what you need to fix. Or if you don't understand, you can ask me, during the class. Okay. And then we're going to monitor, evaluate whether or not, what do we need to revise after that, and then go back to see if we need to revise the objectives. Like, a lot of companies, they will change their, earnings goal, like that. Like last week, FedEx say, oh, their earnings is not looking so good. So they kind of lowered, and then they didn't even know what the expectation will be. They don't know how much they need to lower the number. They just say, oh, our earnings will be really will be low. So their stock price dropped 22%, I think, in one day, 22%, FedEx. Can you imagine that? And it's like in their company history, 40-some year history, they never had the stock price drop that much in one day. Okay, so sometimes if the thing is that if you know you're in trouble, but you don't know how big the trouble is, they worry the investors. Okay, some companies, they know they are in trouble, they can lower their profit or their earnings expectation to a certain amount, and they know what's going on, and they will explain to you. But sometimes some companies, they don't know what's going on, like Netflix a few months ago. Their subscription went down, and they don't know, like the CEO didn't know how to respond. They worry the investors, so their stock price also dropped a lot at that time. So we need to know what's going on, and it's the same as your BSG game. Some of you, when I say, oh, this one made the mistakes here and there, some of you know exactly what happened, but some team still don't know what happened. Like I remember, I don't know if you guys, I don't know how many of you watched the video, but I remember one team sold their capacity. I don't know if you guys noticed. So one team sold their capacity. So I remember there was a class, also there's a team, they sell their capacity every year because they don't know what's going on. They just sold their option, they just keep selling it. Okay. And then every time I will mention it, but they never really listen to what I say until I think year 18 or 17, I forgot. They have zero capacity. They have nothing. And they still don't know what's going on. And I keep telling them, I keep saying, you shouldn't sell your capacity. That means you're not making any shoes. Yeah, they still bid for celebrity. They're still putting advertisement, but there's no factory to make shoes. Okay, so eventually that's the only time in my teaching history that the company actually, their stock price went this, like 2 bars. No money. They got put out of the stock market. Okay, that's the only time. It's, it happened. So, you guys need to know what happened. So anyway, so the first thing is we need to develop a strategic vision, okay? And the mission statement and then set of core values. So what is the vision? Vision is the direction, like where we are going from here, okay? Where like usually we want it to be inspirational, want it to be powerful, and want to have like show that, oh, the company actually is forward looking, like they know where the direction is, okay? Like let's say Facebook, they have a lot of criticism recently, but they know they changed the name to Meta. So they know they want to focus on the virtual reality world, okay? So that's Facebook. So they know this is where they are going. I don't know how many of you will agree. I personally not big fan of virtual reality, but I don't know how many of people are like, oh, this is the future, So that's their vision, okay? So so the vision is, they kind of describe the top management's aspiration for their future, okay? And their long-term direction. And there are do's and don'ts. So the do's is you want it to be graphic, you want it to be somewhat powerful, and you want it to be forward-looking, directional, okay? But at the same time, keep it focused. You don't want it to be too vague. But also on the other hand, you don't want it to be too generic. You don't want it to be vague as well. But you do want to have some wiggle room, okay? Because we'll show you the example of it. Because things will change, and you can kind of tell some of the vision statements are from a long time ago, okay? Make sure this is feasible, whatever you want to go is feasible. And I think the best part is to make your vision statement to be memorable, okay? It's not easy. And then the don't be too vague. We want to have some wiggle room, want to be a little bit flexible, but we don't want it to be too vague, too incomplete. And don't dwell on the present. Don't use too broad language. So this is the difficult part to find a borderline, okay? And then don't state the vision in a bland or uninspiring terms. You also see the example. Don't be too generic, and then don't rely on superlative only. Don't run ons and on, non-stop. So you want to be memorable and to be graphic. So one example. Can someone read it? Loud? Who wants to read it? Okay, thank you. Birthday girl.
Our vision serves as the framework for our roadmap and guides every aspect of our business by describing what we need to accomplish in order to continue achieving quality growth. People, be a great place to work where people are inspired to be the best they can be. Portfolio. Bring to the world a portfolio of quality beverage brands that anticipate and satisfy people's desires and needs. Partners, nurture a winning network of customers and suppliers. Together we create mutual enduring value. Planet, be a responsible citizen who makes a difference by helping build and support sustainable communities. Profit, maximize long-term return to share owners while being mindful of our overall responsibilities. Productivity, be a highly effective, lean and fast-moving organization.
Okay, so we can, it's, to me, everybody can have different opinion, but to me, I like where they say people, portfolio, partners, planning, profit, productivity. That's kind of powerful, kind of graphic, right? But and then they do make good business sense, kind of focus and a little bit flexible, okay? But kind of too long, okay? But if we can somewhat, like cut some of the words and then keep all these P's, people, portfolio, partner, planning, profit, productivity, and then somewhat make it a little bit shorter here, it's probably will be more memorable, right? It will look a little bit better. So, and the shortcomings is a little bit too long, okay? But I like where they have those P's, okay? So that's the Coca-Cola. This one, we want to P&G, Procter & Gamble. We want to read it. Okay.
We will provide branded products and services of superior quality and value that improve the lives of the world's consumers, now and for generations to come. As a result, consumers will reward us with leadership, sales, profit, and value creation, allowing our people, our shareholders, and communities in which we live and work to prosper.
So they kind of show like they say now and for generation to come, and then the consumer will reward them at this. So they want superior quality. So it's they talk about for generations to come. So it's kind of forward looking. It's definitely flexible, feasible. It makes good business sense, but you won't be able to tell like what exactly they are selling. But the thing is that P&G, they sell a lot of different stuff. So that's something, sometimes it's difficult to be focused, but they are not really focused and not graphic, not powerful enough, okay? Even though it's much shorter than Coca-Cola's, but it's less powerful because of they don't have the P's, and it's just, I don't know, it's not easy to me, it's still not easy to memorize. How about you guys? You think it's easy to memorize? Probably not, right? On the other hand, the Coca-Cola, we still remember the profit, people, the P's. So it's a little bit easier to memorize, even though it's very long. But this one, I don't know, okay? So next one, the shortest, who want to read it? Come on. Anybody? Thank you.
We define compelling, sustainable, and creative path to achieve.
So they talk about sustainable future and create a path to achieve it. Very forward-looking, very flexible because we don't know what they want to focus on. But can you imagine what is Heinz? What do they sell? Ketchups. So what does that have anything to do? I mean, even for ESU, we can say we define a compelling sustainable future and create a path to achieve it. Even though it's really short, I can't even memorize it, right? So this is too vague, okay? A little bit too confusing, even though it's very short, but still not easy to memorize. It's not memorable. It's too vague to me, okay? So this is, but definitely very short. So that's a vision statement. So for your PhD game, also, you will also require to do this for your company, okay? And unfortunately, I won't be the one grading it. So this assignment, you cannot be late to turn it in, okay? Remember, it's due on the same day as the year 14 result. It should be on your schedule for the PhD. Okay, so we're going to skip this. And then we want to communicate the vision. Usually, we will put the posters everywhere. And then in theory, like the organizations, if they are starting a new vision statement, like we went through the past few years, we have the, what is it? Innovate, I forgot. What is ESU's vision? Like student focus, right? Student focus, innovate something. Innovate ESU, something like that, okay? So to communicate the vision, usually, they will put the vision statement everywhere. And then when we have like new student orientation, new faculty orientation, they should talk about it. I don't know if we did. I didn't when I come here. When I first came here, I didn't have an orientation, so I don't know. And then make sure that everybody understand what it means by the vision statement. Okay, so you need to kind of inform your external, internal shareholders, stakeholders. So you want to kind of let people know about this, and then it will help people to work together towards that vision. But not many companies can do that, especially when they try to change their vision statement. So the next thing is so this we kind of talk about it. The next thing is mission statement. So vision statement is to tell us where we are going. The mission is who we are, why we are here, what we do. Okay, so we actually, in the mission statement, we talk about the product, okay, and who do we want to serve, who is our target customers, you know, those kind of stuff. So it's more about the present state, not instead of the direction, okay? So the vision tells us our future direction. The mission is the current business, okay? So give you some example. Wait. So the ideal mission statement will identify the company's product and services. Okay, they will specify the buyer needs, what kind of buyer they want to satisfy. Okay, and then identify the consumer group and who market they want to serve, and their approach to please their customers, and they will try to set their company apart from the competitors. They want to clarify the company's business to their stakeholders. So some example here. Where's my example? Wait. I don't have the example. Okay, I'll show you the old slides. The example. I don't know why I didn't. This one. So this one I tell you because this is easy. So Apple's mission statement. Okay, see, this is what I was talking about. Like this is, you can tell Apple designs Macs, the best personal computers in the world, along with OS X iLife. Move that thing. iLife, iWork. How many of you heard of that? It's from maybe 20, 30 years ago. Okay, even me never heard of iLife and iWork. Now we know iPad. What else do we know? something, right? So, and professional software. Apple leads the digital music revolution to its iPod and iTunes online store. So these are when the iPod started to, they started to sell iPod. And now they are going to stop iPod, right? They are discontinuing selling iPod. So this is something, but companies don't change that often, but they do need to change that. Okay, so this one we kind of talk about. So who is the second company? We save people money so they can live better.
Walmart.
Very good. So Walmart is notorious about being cheap, right? So a lot of people don't like Walmart. They think they are cheap and they kind of hurt the local small businesses, right? And then we know they don't treat their employee that well, okay? They're famous for that, notorious for that. But when I look at their mission statement, they actually, the way that they don't allow union, they try to, be very frugal about the cost because they're actually trying to save us money so we can live better. So I kind of like their mission statement. We save people money so that they can live better. Okay, and I think it's very powerful, and it's whenever we saw this, we know that's Walmart because that's what they do. They are famous for doing that. Okay, everyday low price, right? How about the third one? Value, leadership, integrity, quality, customer satisfaction. So they want all this, and the diverse, involved team. So they also value teamwork. They put in time and effort to make the best of what they do, which is to work together as a global company for the aerospace leadership. Which company? Don't tell me NASA. NASA is not a company. Okay. NASA is a research institute. What company? Yes, Boeing. Okay, Boeing not just sell airplanes, they also sell, actually sell a lot of aerospace product. Okay, engines for satellite, different stuff. So they were into the, what is it? I forgot, unmanned aircraft. Unmanned aircraft. It's like drone. It's called unmanned aircraft, right? I forgot the formal name. So they are like the leader for that. But because of the US government's relationship with China placed a lot of order for the airplanes with the Airbus, which is a French company. They don't place order with Boeing. So we don't know how Boeing will do in the future. But they did get a lot of orders as well from different airlines, the 787. So they finally get approval to start that company. So core value. Go back to this. Better looking. So core value is what the companies believe. Okay. Most likely the culture, whatever, the behavioral norms they expected to show in the company's business. And it becomes part of the company's culture. So for those vision, mission, and core value statement, not every company has it. If you search Apple, they only have the vision and mission. And then you search Walmart, they only have the mission and maybe core value. So that some company have 3, some company have 2, some company just has 1 of this. Okay. So, but we use the most famous one to demonstrate the example. So a lot of times we want to match the company's vision, mission, and the strategy to their business. So we want to make sure it matched, and then they can work together. So the famous one is Zappos. Okay, so Zappos, they have this 10 philosophy. They want to deliver wow through service, and they embrace and drive change. They create fun and little weirdness. Be adventurous, creative, and open-minded. Pursue growth and learning. Build open and honest relationship with communication. Build a positive team, family spirit, do more with less, be passionate and determined, be humble. Let's see if I have the videos. To show you the videos from here. So, how many of you watched the Zappos video? Unfortunately, he passed away.
On 9/9, one giant step. The economy may be struggling, but from strappy sandals to sexy stilettos, from cross trainers to Crocs, this shoe store is revolutionizing
His nightline.
If you're looking for a certain pair of shoes, there's a warehouse in Kentucky that probably has them. They've got 1,000 brands in just about every style. 4 hours a day, they're boxing them up and shipping them out to shoe shoppers sitting in the comfort of home.
Good morning, thank you for calling Zappos.com, where Elvis was once spotted in our warehouse looking for a pair of blue suede shoes.
This is Zappos.com, and what Amazon books, Zappos is doing for shoes. They're trying to revolutionize how business is done and how people work. This is on track to sell $1 billion worth of shoes.
Shoes on money without free upgrade.
They're having a party doing it. It was a toga party. Work hard, play hard. And in the dour offices of corporate America. Hey everybody, thanks for coming. Department has its own way of greeting visitors. This is headquartered in Las Vegas, where they do have office carols like almost any other corporation. But right there in the middle, there he is, Tony Shea. The space, then Dilbert.
One of the things important for us, actually probably the most important focus for Zappos is to make sure we have the absolute best company culture. And there is just having a family-like atmosphere.
It's like one of those internet startups that disappeared when the bubble burst. Here's the entire finance department racing Pinewood. But unlike those failed startups, last year Zappos made a 5% profit.
Multiples, how many times more than a call center worker do you make? I don't have there, but my salary is $36,000. So I think some of them make more than.
Some of the people in the call center make more.
Yeah.
Of course, he can afford it. Just a few years out of college, Shea sold an internet company to Microsoft for $265 million. But you wouldn't know it. How many pairs of shoes do you have?
They probably have about 10 pairs right now, but prior to Zappos, I used to have one pair that I would wear for 2 years until I got the same pair again.
So you're not that into shoes?
I'm not that into shoes.
Where people love to work and customers like doing business.
We just want to be about the very best customer service and the very best customer experience.
Selling shoes over the internet would seem difficult. People want to try them on, see the size and color. Zappos overcame that with free shipping, both ways. Order as many shoes as you want. 65 days to return what you don't.
Years to process back in, but
Well, they do pretty well by the employee. Is always available in the cafeteria.
So even the snacks are free. We go E5.
There we go. I'll enjoy. But that's nothing. And the medical and dental benefits.
Why in this world is it such a revolutionary idea to treat your employees and your customers well?
Yeah, I think just because you don't really see the payoff right away. You see the payoff, year, 2 years, sometimes 3 years down the line.
it's a great day here at Zappos. You know,
At the heart of the Zappos revolution is the call center, where actual answer the phone.
hi Patty, how are you doing?
A lot of companies have learned that they can be rude to their customers, they can give them bad service, they can even not answer the telephone, and people still have to do business with them.
Right. And like today, that's because they don't really have a choice.
And money, training people to talk to customers on the phone. There's we, from the executives on down, are required to take, even if their job don't with customers.
We'll be happy to help you out with that. Do you know your order number? Oh, we don't know your order number.
Sari Levine already works in the design department, but she was the latest call center class. And just before they were hired, she offered cash to walk away.
We are actually increasing the offer to $2,000, but today is the last day. The trainees to quit because we really want to make sure that people that are working at Zappos are truly passionate about the company, and this is the place that.
Take it. Are you ready? Circumstance, performance. Pledge.
I'm on a Zappos mission to live.
A list of 10 core values to
Big fun and a little weirdness.
It's just a fun way of saying that we really respect and celebrate everyone's individuality.
Pursue growth. People tend to get kind of stuck.
And I think it's just really important for people to feel engaged. They always need to.
Graduation ceremony and people are smiling and laughing and clapping and making jokes.
Yeah, and that's part of what I mean when I say I'm not the one that is saying, okay, here's what the culture should be.
Well, why isn't your phone?
You don't think you're going to be able to give great customer service by outsourcing it. And for us, customers, if that's what our brand is going to be about, then you can't outsource that. If a customer is looking for a specific pair of shoes and we're out of stock of their size, say, everyone here is trained to look on at least 3 competitor websites. If they find the shoe in stock on the competitor, direct the customer.
What do you get out of that? Somebody else sells the shoe.
Yeah, we lose that sale.
what they get, they think. Of their business is people who come back. And part of their training is exposing employees to every part of the business. Remember Sari Levine? After finishing her training at the call center, she's now shipping shoes in Kentucky.
And your last number is going to be 3180. Out of the training program, we call it KY Boot Camp. We go to our Kentucky to film. And you understand every single aspect of how the warehouse works.
Now Zappos is brand. They're not stuck on shoes.
And so we'll listen to our customers and try out different suggestions. They even suggested cookware. So we're selling cookware.
So you have customers who like you so much, they just want to do business with you almost no matter what it is they're buying.
Yeah, we had received emails from customers that have asked us to start an airline. And we're not going to do that this year. But 30 years from now, I wouldn't rule out a Zappos airline.
In that case,
They were the first company that started free shipping both ways. I remember that. It was when I'm in PhD program, I was picking the shoes in class. And then it says, if you place order before 3 p.m., you will get it tonight. I was like, oh, so I placed the order and I really got it right away. Yeah, so that's how I learned about this company. So this is Amazon's core value. And there are some similarities, like we talk about, they say here, they say do more with less, okay? And Amazon has frugality. We spend money on things that really matters, believe that frugality breeds resourcefulness, self-sufficiency, and intention, okay? And then they also have innovation, okay? Customer obsession. So here, they deliver wow through service, and they build open, honest relationship with communication. What else? Yeah, so they have, like here, let's find another one. Ownership. So ownership, you want to challenge your employees and So here, be adventurous, creative, and open-minded, okay? And embrace, drive change. So they have some similarity, like they share some of the core value. So that's why in 2009, actually Amazon acquires Apple, okay? And at that time, one of the conditions is Tony Hsieh stay as CEO in Apple. And that they pay, I think, $1.5 billion or something. So yeah, so he actually retired in 2020, but unfortunately, I think he passed away 2021. Yeah, so, and I actually forgot about it. So that's the first part, to draft our strategic plan. And then after we have our vision, mission, and core value, now we're going to set our objectives, okay, to convert those vision, those mission into the measurable target where, you know, we can see whether or not we reach the target. So when we talk about objectives, we want it to be measurable, okay? We want it to be a number, but it could be, it still could be strategic. So we are going to show you the difference of the different objectives. Okay, so to set the objectives, like I said, we want to have the objectives where we can push ourselves. We don't want to have an easy objective. We want it to be to push the company to be more inventive, but at the same time, you know, we always want to improve, okay? And we want the company to be focused to match the strategy with objectives, okay? And we want to prevent the inertia. Like sometimes some companies, they are already used to whatever way they are doing things and they don't want to change, which is, you know, in the long run, it will not be good, especially nowadays, the economy is very competitive. So we want to push ourselves to always improve. So like I said, there are two types of objectives: financial objectives, where we can see the numbers from the financial statement, okay? Like cash flow, you know, what's our cash flow? We want to be at the quick ratio, you know, those kind of stuff. And then strategic objectives are related to a market standing, the competitive position. Like we want to be the #1 market share. We want to have the biggest market share. Okay, so even though there's no number, but we know how many percent is our market share. So that could be the strategic objectives. Or we want to be the first to do this and that, okay? So it's more of the external compared to your competitors, the strategic objectives. So some of the example. Oh, and then we have long-term, short-term. Short-term is usually something within 3 years. Long-term, 5, 10 years, okay? So for the financial objectives, we have like certain percent increase in annual revenues. So like revenues, we can see on income statement, okay? Annual increase after tax profit, certain percent profit, also income statement, okay? Earnings per share, certain percent, also income statement. Dividend increase, certain percent, okay? Profit margin, certain percent, we want, you know, want to see that. And then return on capital employed or return on equity, okay? So you will be able to see all these numbers on your BSG report as well. So you guys also, you know, need to kind of like increase, like set that. And then the credit ratings of certain amount, we see that some company had reached their credit rating to A, some is A-, some is B. Okay, you want cash flow, certain amount to fund new capital investment. Okay, so those are the example of financial objectives. The marketing, I mean the strategic objectives is certain percent of market share. Okay, so still have numbers, you still can measure this, okay? It's just, it's compared to the whole market. This is not something you will see on the income statement. Okay, it's more of the market report. And then you want to be the lower cost over, you want to have the lowest cost over your rivals. This you can also see from your report. You guys know that from your industry report, you can see your numbers and industry low and high and average, okay? And, overtaking the key competitor on certain product performance or quality or customer service, okay? Have a broader technology capability, have a wider product line in your rivals. So all this information you actually can see for the BHG game. You guys know where to see it now? If not, we can talk about it later. And then you have a more powerful brand name, stronger national global sales, okay, than your rivals. And then you consistently getting new or improved product and services to market ahead of rivals. So Apple, well, sometimes Apple claims something new technology, but actually some other brand already has it, but Apple did do really well in terms of promoting their product. So they always make people sound like they are the first one inventing that, but actually like the facial recognition. So when Apple released their, I forgot which phone, they started the facial recognition. They were like, oh, now you don't need a fingerprint. You just, they can do the facial recognition to open the phone and unlock the phone. And then I was like, wow. But then we were talking about it in class, and then some students said, oh, Samsung already had that several months ago before Apple. But nobody really know about that. Like not many people know about it, but Apple, when they have that, people know. So people kind of, they are really better at marketing their whatever the product they have or the new feature. People always know they are the first one, but they are not. Okay, but that's what they are good at. So, so we want to have a balanced approach for the objective setting. So we want to have both financial and strategic objectives. So same thing for your BHG game. You want to do that, okay? And then sometimes the good financial performance is not enough because we might have lagging indication. I remember one company that built for this class, they built several factories, but it's not starting the production yet. So their performance didn't look good. The end of year set 11. I don't know what they will do in year 12, but there's some lagging indicators because they haven't really started yet. They've been putting a lot of money investing. So we don't know whether or not, there. Sometimes you have leading indication, like sometimes you did something and then the investors think it's a good sign. So they would, somehow your stock price will just go up, even though before you have the earnings yet. Okay, so sometimes that happens. So that's the one of the things, but we want to set the objective top down and then bottom up. So we have the financial objective, for example, we want to increase our profit 1% every year. Let's say that. Okay, then we need to think about, in different departments, how are they going to do that, reach that 1% increase every year? Should they cut the cost or should they increase the revenue? Okay, so that's a decision that's, everybody has to be involved. And they need to kind of think about whether or not it's feasible. So the number 3 is to craft the actual strategy. Okay, like I say, we have 2 fundamental strategies, but how did you do that? Like let's say low cost. If we want to do low cost, how do we do that in BHG game? Okay, so there's something that you guys will try to figure out. Like I think from your report, there's one thing called productivity. Okay, some company has a very high productivity. Some company have very low defect rate. Okay, I remember this 1% versus like 8% difference. So it's already 7% in profit difference, okay? So, you know, you guys need to figure out how do you lower those number or increase certain number, okay, to be competitive in the BHG game. So, so that's why but like I said, we want to communicate bottom up and top down, so that, you know, we will be able to make sure it's a cohesive strategy throughout the company, okay, from the top till the operating level. So, so this is all that we want to make sure, you know, it will be consistent. And then the next thing is, what is it? Executing the strategy. Okay, so we convert the strategic plan to actions. Like, if you want to be a low cost, so you guys will have to pay attention to tiny details. Okay, for example, where do you ship stuff from? Let's say North America. Where is like cheapest? Should I ship it to? Okay, to save tariff or shipping costs, or even the currency exchange rate, you know, price adjustment. Okay, so you can see everything on your BHG game. They actually, like, your decision is in blue color, and whatever in the bottom gray area is where they calculate everything for you. So you can actually see those. I know when a lot of people, when they see numbers, their brain just get frozen, like my daughter. When she sees number, they just kind of skip it. But you actually need to learn to read the numbers, okay? Read the numbers. It's not that difficult, as long as you start reading it, okay? Just, you know, calm down and then read the number, or you can just read like the profit or the cost, okay? Make sure at least you have a positive profit. So that's the executing part. So for you guys, and you always have to go back and forth. It's a lot of work in the beginning, but when you get used to the game, it will be easier, okay? And again, feel free to reach out to me. Like you guys all have my cell phone number. So when you can sit down with your team, okay, in addition to the class time, if you are meeting outside of Monday class time and you guys are all in front of the computer, someone can text me, say, hey, can you join us in a Zoom? Like I can send you the Zoom link, or you guys have my Zoom link, only that link. So we can go in there and you guys share your screen, because I don't get to see your screen. Okay, I don't know what decision you make. I only know the result, like the one I recorded. So I don't know what exactly you did, but sometimes I can kind of guess from the report, but not everything. So you guys will have to share your screen, and then we can kind of discuss, or, you know, help you to understand the game. Okay, so never too late to reach out to me. Okay, but I really hope everybody from your team will show up when you meet, because I don't want it to be just 1 or 2 person, you know, playing the game and the rest just same tone. Who has that tone? I said that tone only for my daughter. Other people have different ringtone. So that's why I'm more sensitive to that tone. Yeah, so, you know, try to make sure you guys will execute the plan well. Make sure you go through all different tasks. I don't know if it's from this class. This one team, they run out of cash. Okay, but I can't see, I don't know what, like, I see they have 0 cash, and I see they have a lot of short-term debt, but I don't know if they actually borrow a 1-year loan, or it's coming from the overdraft loan. Yeah, so I cannot see that, but I know they probably messed up. So because it's very unlikely you have 0 cash if you have a loan, it's unlikely you have zero cash. Yeah, so the executing part is very important. And sometimes even when you have very good strategy, like very smart, I see a lot of team have very good strategy, but it didn't work out well because they messed up some small detail. Okay, like guys, there's a team, they don't ship shoes to market. Okay, so that's that. And then let me see, should I, no, we're not going to talk about this. Oh, so that's it. Any questions? So for BSG again, the important thing for your 3-year strategic plan is to set objectives, a lot of numbers as well. But you can go back to your company report. They will give you all the numbers. Just, like what usually company do, they will expect themselves to have 5, 10, 15% growth. Just add up the number, and then they have like the I forgot the term they use, but they'll have the pessimistic situation, the standard situation, and the optimistic situation. So you just need to, based on different situation, different scenario, put in different numbers. Of course, the most optimistic scenario, you will make the most profit. The pessimistic scenario, you'll make the least profit. So make sure that's the number you put in. So do you guys want me to let me get out first, and then we can come back in for the. Do you want me to go through the result again, or do you have questions?